Hey guys, welcome back to the Detour podcast. We're live and it's a big day because Michael Matthews, the monkey's off the back. He's had a win overnight at the World Tour event, Tour of Catalunya. I'm your host, Dan Jones, joined as always by a very excited four-time national road champion from Australia, Johnny Chavarri. You must be up and about, mate.
Yes, well, my godchild has come good.
That's right. That's right.
No, fantastic, and and we're going to have talk with him. He just sent me a message, 2 minutes, so that's great. Look, I felt for him last year. He actually had a really good year. He just didn't win any bike races, but I mean, he was right in there at the top end of the biggest races in the world, but just couldn't get the elusive wins. It's been a couple of years actually, and so his form on Saturday in Milan-San Remo was absolutely sensational, and just right in the mix. Very impressive ride, but this one. Yeah, something special. But of course, we'll be talking about the other major thing that happened last night for our time with Sonny Colbrelli, who raced a fantastic drag race between he and Michael all the way up the finishing straight. Michael was just too strong, took it out. But then Colbrelli collapsed not long after, ended up having to get paramedics, and it turned out to be a heart attack. Caused through he didn't ride Milan-San Remo on Saturday because he was out with this bronchitis flu that's been going right through the peloton, and and then it turned out he was really crook. They had to cut him off to hospital, and with a heart attack. So it's scary stuff. So we'll break all that down. Amazing few days in cycling.
Well, there's two blokes that are going to give us pretty good insights on what's going on, everything Team BikeExchange Jayco. That, of course, is Matt White and Gene Bates, who's on the ground there at Catalunya at the moment. Welcome, fellas. Start off with you, Gino. Geez, it must have been an exciting time among the group after stage one yesterday.
It was fantastic. The guys had a great day all round, actually. It was I'm not sure how much you saw during the stage, but there was a lot of crosswinds, and at one stage it was a group of 25, and we had all 7 riders in the front group there. So it was a big day for everyone, and obviously, as you can see from the pictures, Bling finished it off very nicely in the finish there.
Iffy?
Yeah, sensational. So did you see anything of what happened afterwards? Look, there we are. We've got him come across the line now. Wow, and he wins it really comfortably. Hands in the air, he would have been over the moon. There is, and I can tell you, there's so many bike riders who come up and congratulate him because they knew how much it meant to Michael, which was fantastic. But I was going to ask you, Gene, did you see anything of what happened afterwards with Colbrelli?
No, fortunately, and it's one of those things. The guys came back to the bus pretty shaken up of what they saw with Sonny on the ground there, and the medical treatment he was receiving at the time. So we're all just thankful that he was all right, and he sounds like he's recovering well in hospital there.
Yeah, as you were saying earlier, like there was obviously the bronchitis type thing, and we were talking with you about that the other day, Whitey, that sort of ripped through the peloton over a number of different races. But is that one of the things, like with the medical staff, that you've sort of got to monitor with any of these sort of chest infection type, things with recovery?
Yeah, definitely. Well, also, Sonny did have COVID, and I heard that he had COVID quite bad in February. So all the protocol for all the teams now is before they are allowed to start back racing, the guys have to have heart checks. So there's good procedures put in place by the teams that they can monitor their health. But like those heart checks, all they show is the health of the heart on that day. So it does catch out if you've got any issues on that day. But it's a tough spring, and basically when you do get sick at all, that does put a stress on your heart. And these guys are making extraordinary efforts. And the main thing is that Sonny is well in hospital. He's been monitored, and let's hope he gets better soon.
Particularly as cyclists, like I was always in awe, like their capacity to push through the pain barrier. But sometimes, from a health perspective, the pain barrier is there for a reason to tell your body, "Hey, well, you're at your limit." Whereas guys like Sonny, even you look what he did at Paris-Roubaix last year. That guy's an animal. So when you're pushing it to the limit, sometimes things like that can happen. But it's great. It's great to see that he is on the men. And obviously on the weekend, Whitey, Milan-San Remo, if he was talking about Bling, finished fourth. It was a really positive ride, but geez, all the talking point was the drop post with Mahorik and some of the risks that he was taking on the descents. I think that's the fastest time, is it, down the Poggio, knocking off Sean Yates from, I think, in the late 80s or early 90s.
Maybe even Sean Kelly.
Sean Kelly. See, whenever I try and go pre-2005, I take a big risk. Big risk. But anyway, he was motoring almost to the point where in the coverage, he was catching the motorbikes. Like so many times you could see it. So
yeah, don't start me, Jonesy. Don't start me.
I'm just poking the bear, mate. I'm just poking the bear. But hang on. We've got it. We've got a guest, Michael Matthews. He's on the detour. Congratulations, mate. How are you traveling?
Thanks, guys. Yeah, a bit rough this morning, but nah, good.
Well, did you party up? Did you have a bit of a party last night, Michael?
No. We had a glass of wine with the team to have a little bit of a celebrate, but nah. It's another really good stage for us today, and a lot of good stages this week. So this was just to get the ball rolling.
Michael, I know you really well, mate. If you were going to celebrate, it would be a box of sour cream and chive Pringles.
Hey, what happens on tour stays on tour, right?
Right.
So just quickly, Michael, look, congratulations, mate. It's fantastic. I know it's been frustrating for you. You actually had quite a good year last year, but just couldn't get that bloody win. And now a great ride on Saturday in Milan-San Remo, which we'll talk about in a second. But that drag race up the finish there, it's a pretty tough finish, which you've won there before, of course. But that was an absolute brilliant win. And I could see how a lot of your rivals in other teams were actually so wrapped for you. So many come up to pat you on the back straight at the finish. Must have been pretty special, mate.
Yeah, I think everyone knows how much I put of my life into cycling, and how much I continue to try no matter how much I get pushed down. I'm definitely at the end of my career going to write a book about all the stuff that has happened to me and to my family and my teams all through the years of my career. So I think, yeah, when my friends in the peloton and compatriots saw that I had won, they feel like they won too. Yeah, a lot of guys across the finish line that I actually in this peloton here, there's a lot of guys that I was teammates with that we've had so many journeys with through cycling on and off the bike, and yeah, to come through with a victory yesterday after so long without one, yeah, they could feel how much it meant to me. It wasn't just another win. It was something more special.
And of course, just while we're on that, I mean, Sonny Colbrelli, it was a great duel up the finish. You were too strong, but then to see what happened afterwards, because he had a heart attack. Did you see any of that after the finish?
No, I was actually at the doping control doing my test, and our media person came and just said, I just want to tell you before the media asks you any questions about it, but there's Colbrelli's passed out over the finish line. And yeah, from that moment, for me, it was more about his health and his safety rather than actually the win. And yeah, I just continued asking as much questions as possible as I could. And yeah, it's scary. He had COVID over Christmas, had bronchitis, I think last week, which a lot of us have had COVID now. So that could have been any of us on the ground there after the finish line. And I spoke to a couple of teammates of ours last night at dinner, and they said they did see him on the ground, like compulsing after the finish line, which yeah, is never nice to see. And yeah, like I said, that could have been any of us that have had COVID. So yeah, it's the main thing is he's okay. And I messaged with him last night and this morning, and he's okay. So I think yeah, that's best case scenario.
Yeah.
Now, we were talking Bling to Gene earlier, and it was a really solid effort from the team across the board yesterday. A couple of the old faces, you got the Joker Cam Meyer, Demon Damien Housen, and you were very quick to thank the team for all their work after the victory.
Yeah, it wasn't really our plan. Was to go make a split mid race and go from there to try and go to the finish, but in the end, the split, the wind was there, and we were riding the front with Callum, and Gene gave us the all clear through the town to go to the front, all of us, and then see what the wind is like out of the town, and it was good enough to be able to make a panic in the peloton, let's say. Otherwise, it just would have been a big day for us riding the front all day. So I think it made the race more exciting for sure. And in the end, we had our whole team in the front there in the split. So it was good from all of us, but it was also good from Gene that he gave us the heads up that this was all coming. So then through to the finish, even though we were swapping off full gas in the split there, we still had guys to position me going into the climb and then into the finish also deep into the final. So it was just up to me to try and position the last few kilometres to try and get the victory, and we were able to do it. So it's a great day.
Well, looking into the crystal ball, Gene, what do you got planned for today's stage and the rest of the tour, mate?
I reckon there'll be a few nervous guys after yesterday. Given the wind again is going to be super strong, and we're up around that Perpignan area on the coast, which is notoriously windy. It's more of probably a flatter stage. One would think it's going to be a bunch sprint on paper, but as we saw yesterday, I think anything can happen, and we'll see a lot of nervous teams out there, particularly in the middle part of the race.
So you've got Bling and Caden Groves all set up for today, have you?
Yeah, it's very nice to have options when you come to a race like this, and I think we've got two very good ones at the moment. Obviously, in Good Nick and also Simon Yates in the next few days with two big mountain days coming up after that.
Hang on, we've got another special guest. Geez, we've got a stacked lineup here, and that, of course, is the Green Edge founder, Jerry Ryan, joins us live. Jerry.
How are you, boys?
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, have you got a special guest from the team? Or...
I got one or two.
Hey, take over the show.
Well, it's been a big day, mate. It's been a very big day.
That was yesterday. It's going to be a bigger day today, but congratulations.
Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, mate.
Hey, resilience, perseverance, and you got there, mate. Great win. Very proud of you. Don't let Whitey take the credit, by the way.
Everyone can take the credit for that. That was a full team effort, mate. That was a full team effort.
The football team didn't win, but you made up for it. Well done, Bling.
Did my part.
Jerry, you must be looking forward to getting back over the races this year. It's been a long time.
Can't wait to get there. So I'm being allowed to escape in May. So I've got a few trips planned, and that'll be the first one. So
you got Bling down for the Giro, Whitey?
No. Bling's going to have a break after the classics and then get ready for the tour, mate.
All right.
I'll be there at the starting line to push you off, Bling.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
And if you'll be there for security, Bling. Remember, you did such a good job at the Giro in 2014. So
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That was golden. Those are the times.
Why are people so unkind?
Johnny, on your forehead it says target, right? Wipe it off.
That's the job of the mascot, to keep everyone happy and laughing and whatever. But hey,
we're
I
still
must
laughing
do
about it 8 years later, so it's not so
I know, exactly right. And I can't do too bad a job because I've got to actually guide Jerry around at the start of the Giro. So I can't be doing too bad a job. I still get in there.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be fine. Nothing will go wrong.
I've got a GPS. I've got a GPS, John.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we can get lost even with them, but anyway, that's another story. But I know you haven't got long, Jerry, so I'll let you fire some questions away because I know you've got to run into a presentation. But I thought you might. We're just talking about that, and also Milan-San Remo, which was another great ride of Michael's. So exciting stuff.
As I said, perseverance, and you never give up, and you didn't, and there's more to come, Michael, and I look forward to being over there and seeing you put those two arms in the air. So keep up the good work, and to the team, all the best, and stay safe, and very proud of the achievements. It's been a great year so far, and it's going to even be a bigger one.
Yeah.
Well,
Thanks,
there you
Jerry.
go.
Appreciate
Got
it,
the
mate.
support from
Thanks,
Jerry,
Jerry.
so we're all ready
All the
to
best,
rock and roll.
guys.
Good on you, Jerry.
Catch
Thanks,
you.
Jerry.
Bye.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
That's of course Jerry Ride. Now, Bling, you're probably got to head off. Iffy, anything before?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I do because I want to talk about Milan-San Remo because I tell you what, I love the Milan-San Remo, and the last 20K of that is always amazing. But this year it was something else. So just take us. We'll get down to the finale in the motorbikes in a minute, but just take us through that, like from the start of the suppressor, because the pace was on like I've never seen before. So just take us through that, mate.
Yeah, I guess as we all expected, UAE had to make the race hard on the suppressor, so that wasn't a surprise. But yeah, this pace they went up there was pretty special. I think when 30 guys go over the top of the suppressor, you know, okay, I just got to tighten my seatbelt and try and hold on as much as I can for the Poggio. And yeah, I think I did a pretty good job. I think I was happy with my performance on the Poggio. Also, it was like on the Poggio, it was like a bunch sprint. It was up the climb. I was continuing trying to overtake people just to try and be like second, third, or fourth wheel. But in the end, everyone was just passing each other to try and be in that same position, which I've never actually experienced before on the Poggio. Normally, it's like fast from bottom to top, and they attack at the glass house, and that's the main attack, you know. So yeah, this year Tadej attacked already 4 times before the glass house even started, which the glass house is about 1.5 to go to the top of the Poggio, and that's where all the famous attacks always go in Milan-San Remo. So yeah, he was attacking like a madman before that, and I think everyone just wanted to be on his wheel. So it was, yeah, there was just people going everywhere, and when everyone's got not much legs left, it was a bit wild. And then yeah, we went over the top, a small group with a little bit of a gap on us. One of them topped us in front, but yeah, it was not really an issue. You could see we were just going to come back as soon as we turned left at the top of the climb. And then I think actually Mohorovic came past me just at the top of the climb, and then just railed it past everyone and just took off on the descent, and no one could follow with that drop of seat post. And yeah, his bike skills, you know how good Tadej's bike skills are, and he couldn't follow the wheel. So I mean, yeah.
Well, his chain skills are good as well. Like that was unbelievable what happened in the
Oh,
final.
he was lucky there. Yeah,
I mean, that would have given you like just the shock. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, considering also he's had a couple of nasty crashes last year, and he hasn't lost his fear. And he was the quickest descender since, what was it, Sean Kelly, John, in the 80s?
Oh, I think he might have even been quicker. That was absolutely amazing. Yeah, look, I thought, I was just wrapped. I thought the final attack of Craig Anderson was the real brutal one, because, you know, today had been really going. But when Craig Anderson went, that was just another level again. But even though they only put a small gap into you. But now, and I saw you were complaining about the motorbikes, and rightly so. And I see Dan Lloyd, the British ex-bike rider and now commentator, backed you up completely. He just said it's getting ridiculous. Sure, you're getting the breakaway. You know you're going to get a bit of advantage. But he did get quite a bit of advantage in that last part of the descent down the after, you know, in the last 4 or 5K. Michael, I was going to ask you.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one. For me, I'm hoping the bikes were just trying to get out of the way because he was obviously descending so fast.
Oh, Fling's gone. He's cut out. That's always a problem when they're halfway through a sentence and it goes a full frame of myself.
That's scary. That's scary.
Just on the motorbikes, though, we've been saying this for ages, like since day dot, that there's too many in a peloton. Like, how many do you need to take snaps? Bling, you're back.
I'm back. Sorry, I think the internet cut out.
You're on, mate.
Yeah, I think the motorbikes were really just trying to get out of the way. I said that in the post-race interview. Obviously, it is becoming a big problem. On the descent, okay, he was getting a little bit help, but the problem is off the descent where you come really fast onto the main road. Off the descent, it was quite close to the bikes, which is not his fault. I'm not blaming him at all.
Yeah.
You use every advantage that you can in the bike race. But it's also for races moving forward, and for cycling, we need to figure out what we can do to make it equal for the peloton and for the guy in the break. But yeah, nothing taking away from Matej. He rode a great race, and he gambled, and it worked out.
Bling, how much of cycling do you think is built around confidence? And how much confidence did you take from your ride at Milan-San Remo that obviously helped you on the opening stage of Catalunya?
Yeah, I think it's at least 50% of the battle with any sport. I think obviously physical ability and form is massive, but head, being able to stick to the plan and believe in yourself that you can deliver the plan that is expected of you. I think last year we got bashed down quite a bit with our confidence. I think we probably know the reason why, but we're probably not going to say it. But yeah, I think this year with our new equipment, everyone is much happier and can perform much better. And I think that brings up the whole team, not just one guy. But I saw in San Remo, I saw a really motivated, strong, positive team of riders, staff, everything. And then coming here after that, I guess I probably brought that confidence, that drive that we did get from San Remo to this race. And I saw a very strong, rounded team here yesterday in the race. And hopefully we can just continue this this high that we're on at the moment. I think Dion was also second a couple of days ago. Yatesy's win last week. He's second in Paris-Nice. So it's like everything. Once you see success or feel success in your group of people, where whatever you're in, you also want to feel some success or be a part of some success of some success. So that just drives you to be even more motivated to continue that. And I think, yeah, the role we're on at the moment, I'm excited to see what is coming for us.
Good stuff, mate. Before we let you go, I've got a couple of live comments. Janice Ashcroft says, hi, everyone. Congratulations, Bling. Matthew Bourdignon says, hi, guys. Amazing team ride and well finished by Bling. Congratulations, team. Janice says, best wishes to Sonny. Hope this doesn't occur again. Dan the man, he's loving it. John Bodie says, well done, Bling. Made my day when I woke up to hear of your win. Congratulations. Andy Hilton says, awesome work by Bling and team. Great to see Bike Exchange turn it on in the early season races. It bodes well. Old Knowlesy, he says, great to see at Bling 90 on the best cycling podcast. Absolutely love this podcast. Cheers to all. And then Knowlesy's backed it up with, got any jobs going, please, Jerry? And then Kevin B says, fantastic to see Jerry. What a fantastic asset to Australian cycling. And old Leon bowls a curveball. He says, if you're in a group of 5 and the lead rider was getting a draft from the motos, would we be talking about it? Well, if Bling won, we wouldn't. You know the score, so move on. That's how the game works. Talk to the fourth wall. Anything you want to add before we let Bling go? And Gino's got to get going as well.
Well,
And
Congratulate, just say congratulate, Bling, fantastic, mate, and looking forward to watching you in those couple of those big classics coming up, which really suit you, Amstel, Liège, races like that, Flèche. Look forward to really seeing you show us your stuff.
Well, when it rains, it pours, Bling. It absolutely pours. So you're off and racing, bro. So go out and smash it, and hopefully you can get a custom-made Bling bike.
We'll have to ask Tom Davids about that one.
Oh, mate.
He's my good mate, so we'll see.
All right. All right, mate. Well, thanks for coming on the show, and we'll let you go as well, Gino. Get amongst it and get the day sorted.
Cheers, guys.
No worries, mate.
Thanks fellas. Thanks heaps. Yeah,
thanks,
see
Jerry.
You, mate.
Cheers, mate. Whitey.
Dan.
Just sitting there saying, whoa. Let's just go to a quick drinks break, and there's a couple other quick topics. Short and sharp one tonight, as we always say on the Detour podcast.
Whitey has to go as well, so I think we're about 3 minutes.
When do you got to go? You got 3 minutes.
Couple minutes.
All right, we'll do a quick drinks break, and then we'll wrap it up. All right.
Okay.
Look at this bike. You think it's just a bike, right? But it's not. It's a bike 374 people are looking at. This guy, this girl, them, all looking at it. People from here, there, and wherever this is. People that are looking for a bike. Or just a piece of it. Amateurs, semi-amateurs, and pro-amateurs. This guy wants this bike, but with this crank and these bars. This could be the perfect match. But not this one. This girl has a bike to sell, and thousands of people might purchase it. Eyes on Bikes help grow small businesses. His, hers, yours, and the latest data and insights help those businesses keep moving. We are the world's #1 bike marketplace, with over 500,000 products and 900 brands, where buyers and sellers are brought together in a place where a bike is never just a bike. Bike Exchange, where the world buys, sells, learns, and rides.
Are you dreaming of the ultimate cycling holiday? Mumu Cycling is the best in the business. Official tour operators for all Grand Tours and monuments, you will ride the best climbs, enjoy VIP access and race viewing, all hosted by some of the world's best pros, including 17-time Tour de France rider and Paris-Roubaix champion Stuart O'Grady. Start planning your ultimate holiday at www.mumucycling.com.
Thanks again to Bike Exchange and mumucycling.com if he's going to be over there at the Giro this year. So make sure you get in and book your spot, mumucycling.com. Before we let you go, Whitey, obviously, it's going to be a big race at Catalunya, but what are a couple of the other big ones coming up for yourself?
Well, we have, for the team, we have the first of the main block of spring classics starts tomorrow with Skelderprise, with the Punter. So
it's still going, that race.
Yeah,
not
but
3 days anymore, does it?
It's a one-day race now, Jonesy, and it's a World Tour one-day race. That's on tomorrow. So we're hitting that one with Dylan Groenewegen. He'll be going head to head with Mark Cavendish and a few of the other big sprinters. That's tomorrow. So in Belgium we have Wednesday, Friday is E3, which is like a mini Tour of Flanders. Sunday is Ghent-Wevelgem. So we've got 3 big World Tour races in Belgium this week. Then tomorrow starts a stage race in Italy, Coppa Barclay, and we've got a younger team in that one with Dion Smith, who was second in a big race in Italy on the weekend, and with some of our guys coming back from COVID, coming back from injury. That's in Italy as well. So we're racing on 3 fronts this week. So Catalunya, which is day 2 today, which should, like Jean said, should be a good day for Caden Groves. Tomorrow, so we start in Belgium and Italy as well. So it's a busy period of the year, which nearly all hands on deck. And then the week after is Basque Country.
Geez, the Belgians must be fizzing now. They must just be up and about with
prime
those
time.
3 races.
It's like final season.
Eddie would be doing that many cashies.
And the good news for the riders is, so I'm down in southern Spain, and it's pretty average weather. And usually, if it's average weather down where I live, it means only one thing: that Northern Europe has sensational weather. And I saw the weather forecast for tomorrow is 18 degrees and sunny in Belgium tomorrow. The whole week is sunshine, no chance of rain. We've got the reverse down here, raining every day. It's good. We need it because we won't see rain again for another 6 months. But the weather looks very good in Belgium this week.
Yeah.
Now, I was going to ask, after Paris-Nice, which was just a sensational ride by Simon, and we've spoken about that, but you mentioned that Simon did get a little bit crook, a little bit of that bronchial thing that's been going around.
Yep.
Obviously, he finished in the front group, in the main group yesterday, no problem. How is he going right now?
Yeah, he's good. I wouldn't say he's 100%, but we've still got another 24 hours before it really sort of matters. Today there'll be a bit of action probably in the crosswinds, but he handled that well yesterday. And tomorrow's the first hilltop finish in Catalunya. So what matters is how he feels probably about 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. But he's just shaking the remains of that infection. And look, his brother got sick as well. His brother was scheduled to ride in Catalunya and couldn't make the start line. Caught the same sort of bronchitis. So it has been going around. It's decimating certain teams, and you certainly need a little bit of luck. And when you catch it, and when your key riders have to have a bit of time off. And Simon had a very easy week between Paris-Nice and Catalunya. But fingers crossed he's good tomorrow because he's got good legs. And this is sort of the last race of his block before he has a month without competition. And we got one final push for us in Vuelta a Asturias before the Giro.
I'm going to ask you about that because what is his program? I mean, he's saying he's got only a month off because I believe he will win the Giro. And I'm loving that you're doing a special show. So people jump onto the Green Edge website. They can see, I think part 2 is about to come up of Simon's quest for the Giro. And the part 1 was fantastic. Showed him as a youngster. Love the photo with the 2 boys and some soccer player.
David Beckham.
Exactly.
It would have been the highlight of Becken's run, beating the Yates boys.
Yeah. But no, that was great. But we, as I'm probably going too far and saying I believe he will win, but he's definitely one of the favourites. But I think he will. But what's his program after this?
Yeah, so after Catalunya, I'm meeting him on Sunday night, and we're going to nick across to Italy, to Venice on Sunday night, and we're going to look at stage 19 of the Giro. Now, it's probably not the biggest day of the race, but there's a climb the stage goes into Slovenia. The second half of the stage is quite hilly, and there's a climb there that's 10 kilometers at 10%. Then you descend down, and then you climb up to the finish. Stage 19, I know what that's like. It's pretty easy there's big gaps in the group. 10K at 10% will split any race in half, and whether it's in the last hour of racing, it'll be a crucial one. It's a climb that no one knows. We haven't used it before in races, so we're going to go across there and see that. Then Simon's going to head up and do some more stuff in the wind tunnel up in London, and have a pretty easy week. And then he'll start his altitude preparation, which will go for 3.5 weeks or so. And then we're going to take a big chunk of the Giro team to Vuelta a Asturias. It's a race we haven't done before. It's a 3-day race in the north of Spain. And it's just to put the icing on the cake. The plan will be to go there, win the race with Simon, and just blow out a bit of the cobwebs of how we work as a team at a smaller race. And we did it last year with Tour of the Alps, which we went there and won. And we'll be using the same sort of template again in Vuelta a Asturias. Then home for a day, and then off to Budapest. The race finishes on the Sunday, and we're off to Budapest on the Tuesday for a Friday start.
Now, Bling was talking a bit earlier about confidence. Is that one of the main reasons why you like to do the recons, just so that, for Yatesy, he knows the course, he knows, how tough those climbs are or whatever, and just to give him that confidence if it is sort of tight in the final there, and how much of effect does that have on a rider's sort of psyche that they've done the recon?
Yeah, I think Simon's a guy, so he does sit on the fence with the recons. I think this one worked out well logistically, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to drag guys away for for an extra week here and there when they're already spend so much time away. But what Simon is very confident with is we see the courses, and we've got a good idea of those courses as well. So last weekend between Paris-Nice and Milan-San Remo, I spent 5 days looking at the courses in southern Italy. When I spoke to you last Tuesday, and then I know Dave McPartland's going to be looking at some next week, and then Gene, who's at Catalunya, is going to do a block of stages around where he lives in northern Italy the week prior to the Giro. So between the three of us, we will have checked out every single mountain stage of the race. Which we as a group of sports directors, we're going to go in pretty confident, knowing what we're calling. We did it last year. We've done it many years now, Jonesy, as you know. But we obviously, when you got a GC team and one of the favourites, you are turning every stone upside down to work out the minor details that may help you make some better calls. We don't look at the sprint stages; they're not for us. But I think some guys really like to see the stages and they really value it, and other guys are more. Simon's someone who he doesn't like to be away from home unless it's necessary. But this one worked well logistically, and he obviously has a lot of faith in us that us knowing the course can pass that information on to him.
Well, I just hope that the Giro let you film every stage, because obviously there's going to be a big build up, and we don't have to resort to 2016 tactics and recreate stages with toys.
No, that's past. That's past.
That pissed them right off. They weren't happy when we poked the stick at the old Giro organisers. It was good fun, and that was the year. Obviously, we came close with Esteban Chavez and my old mate Nibbly, and I'll never forget when he shook hands with the Giro boss. The finish there, I gave him the daggers. Nah. I still haven't moved on from that, but anyway, hopefully it's not that tight nearing the end.
A lot of the Giro rivals are racing each other this week in Catalunya, actually. So Carapaz is there, Dumoulin is there. The other one will be who we probably won't race against from now till the start of the Giro is Landa. He was third place last week in Tirreno, and he's doing Tour of the Alps. So I think they're the big favourites for me. I think Landa, Carapaz, and Simon Yates. Dumoulin will be interesting. I think he obviously had a great ride at the Olympics to win the silver medal, but his stage race condition is not yet back where it was a couple of years ago. But regardless, it's going to be a very, very competitive Giro, and I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, before we let you go, one last thing. What's going on with the Netflix series? You didn't get a start. I heard they've finalised the 8 teams for the Drive to Survive series. Mate, you could have been a global superstar. You've seen what it's done for the F1 guys.
Mate, all I'll say is their loss.
Yeah. Well, they could have got some gold. Although, on a serious note, I was there obviously in 2017 when the Amazon crew were there. They did a great product, but it does add a layer of stress. And I heard that the contracts are wherever they put the cameras in the cars and the buses and that's it. You don't have any creative control. And as you know, at a Grand Tour, stages 13 to 16, there's going to be some juicy stuff. And in the current climate, geez, I'll be sweating bullets.
Yeah, look, I understand it's really good value for the sponsors, but it's also something that it's not. It is a special environment, the race environment, and when teams are under a lot of pressure, it is. I think our team handles that well. We were sort of desensitized with your presence there for a few years there, mate, and we have had a lot of media, more than any team really, with more access than most teams. So our guys could handle it very well, but certainly it's not for everyone. And having been basically living in a reality television show during the Grand Tour, people will react differently, and that will make for some great footage. But anyone who's been around our team knows that we have plenty of entertainment, and it is their loss. Maybe next year. Look, you have one quiet year, and people forget about you, don't they? But I'm sure the success is going to be a series, and it's going to open up a new audience to cycling. I'd never watched anything about Formula One until that series, and I love it. Yeah. It's a great template, and they're going to try to recreate the same sort of template with cycling.
Yeah, I feel sorry for that Rolf Aldag lookalike, from Haas. He's always stressed, that guy. He's always like, guys, we've got to be more professional. And there's blokes dropping wheel nuts on the changes. And It's a great show. But no, we really appreciate you joining the detour again, mate. All the best over the next couple of weeks. And as we said, sensational win by Bling overnight. And I think with confidence, as we all know, Bling really reaches his potential. So when it rains, it pours. So it should be the first of many for sort of 2.0 with Green Edge.
No, it's a bit real busy week and very busy time of the year. And like Jerry said, we've had a great start to the year, four wins already, and been up and about in all the races. So it's a nice way to get off the mark.
Good stuff, mate. We'll Iffy.
I was just going to ask you, we've going back a bit, but we haven't mentioned the poor old guy who ran second in Milan-San Remo, but I was going to ask you about him, Anthony Turgis, or Turgis, or whatever you say it. He's been around for a while. I think he's 27, 28, ride for Total Energies, used to be with Cofidis, but that was a ride and a half. I mean, he actually jumped away from everyone as well. He didn't quite get to Mahonek, but he was not far away. So that's a big step up for him.
It is. Look, he's been around a while, like you said, John, and he has pulled out some really good rides in the classics. And it was like when we saw Peter Sagan obviously puncture before the bottom of the Cipressa, and then he came back. He got back to the last wheel at the bottom of the Cipressa, and then we're looking near the top of the Cipressa. Who's that guy? Surely, gee, that's not Sagan, is it? And we thought, we thought Sagan had this miracle ride to go through the bunch on the Cipressa and pop himself in the top 5 wheels. And we couldn't work out who it was. And then we finally clicked. It was Turgis. And I'd be lying to say it's a surprise because he has shown that he's year by year he has improved. And he's one of the best classics riders. I'm sure you'll see some big rides out of him in the next 3 weeks up in Belgium as well.
Yeah. All right. Thanks,
Good
mate.
stuff,
Thanks,
mate.
heaps.
No worries, Whitey.
All right, gents.
Chat again soon. Take it easy, mate.
Oh.
All right, bud. Look out,
White.
pal.
Now, another thing before we go, Lockie Morton, Iffy. Sensational.
Yes.
He's made
So
the Ukrainian border.
Yeah, so he did. It was 1,000 kilometres he rode through Poland to the border of Ukraine, and he hoped to raise just over $100,000. He raised in excess of $200,000. Rode non-stop, 42 hours. He's just a legend.
He is a legend.
Yeah.
He needs some sort of recognition from Australia for all of this. Should be Lockie Morton OAM, at least.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Look, I think he's starting to get it. But people do love what he does. It's one of the reasons that EF have kept him as part of that team, because
I think it's smart. I think it's so
very
smart.
Very
so
smart.
Teams should be looking to do that. Like have a rider on your roster that does things like Lockie is and raising money and awareness. Put him in your kit, pay him a salary, and the amount of media exposure he got by riding in front of the Tour de France equated to more media than that team had ever had at the Tour in their history.
Yeah. No,
so
exactly.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. No, he's a legend, and also a really good race for the ladies with the Trofeo Alfredo Binder. So the toe strap classic, as old farts like us call it.
Toe strap classic.
Alfredo Binder made the best toe straps in the old days. He was also a superstar. I think he won the Giro back in the day. But so Elisa, the world champion, Balsamo, she was very fast. Starting to really show some great form. So she's hit the lead of the Women's World Tour this year's. Big.
That is a great salute. I love that salute.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That is someone who is very excited, and she's a fantastic bike rider. And she won it from Bertozzola and Paladin. So, some really good women's racing coming up right now too.
There's a lot of history in that race as well. I think he's like 45 years old, and for an Italian to win it, that's a big one for her. So, and in the rainbow colours.
Yeah, I think it's the oldest of the women's classic. So a great bike race. But
fantastic. All right, we've got a couple more comments. Catherine Whelan, top show, the Detour team. Thanks, Catherine. And Catriona McDonald, totally Dan Lockie is an absolute bloody legend. Couldn't agree more. I think more teams should be doing that. Maybe you could go from the Bike Exchange Jayco mascot to doing what Lockie does. Jerry slinging some coin, put some kit on, do some charity rides, iffy.
42 hours, 1,000 kilometres. It might take me a while to get up to that sort of
what a story. What about, think about the publicity you get. 80-year-old man battles his legs.
I'm only 72, mate. Don't start putting 8 years onto me. But, yeah. Don't you talk. I'll still give you a bloody whopping if you're going to get out on the bike. So
hey, I've got plans. I might be doing something in June. Hold on to your hats. Yeah. Who knows? Okay. Who knows?
Well, you're very good at walking. You do a lot of walking.
A lot of talking. All right, anything want you add before we wrap things up, Johnny? That's it.
No, look, it's getting to the crunch time. I was talking to Stewie just before, and he's heading off next week to go to the Classics, working with Moo. So I never got a chance to give them a plug before, but Moo. I've got a group going over for the Classics, and of course, the glass is a bit squiff. But of course, they've still got a few spots on that Giro tour. But Stewie was saying, I see if I've got his thing here. He said, I'm going to find it first. One of his mates, because I was talking to him about Sonny Colbrelli, I said, that's scary. And he said, actually spoke to a friend who called him, and he said he was actually doing quite well, but he said they actually did a cardiac massage on him on the finish line that kept him alive,
Wow.
So luckily he's coming out of it. But and also I was talking to Brent Copeland, the general manager of Bike Exchange Jayco, and we were just texting back and forth. And he said he was told, because he didn't start Milan-San Remo because of that, to take it easy his first couple of races back. But it's pretty easy to say that. Look, bike riders are bike riders. You put them into a finish like that, suits him down the ground, was always going to be out of him and bling up there, and you of course you're going to lay it on the line. But anyway, look, my last thing I'd just like to say, all my thoughts go to Sonny Colbrelli, a superstar. We know how good he is. He won Paris-Roubaix last year. I just hope he comes back without too much damage.
That's right. And my last one is a comment from Leon. He says, don't forget Jonesy once signed on at the Giro. The kid has form. That's true. Uno sprinter. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll be back again on Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Thanks again to Gene Bates, Michael Matthews, and of course Matt White for their guest appearances on the show. And we'll see you on Thursday. Who we got lined up for Thursday?
We should probably
Jerry Ryan.
Jerry Ryan,
Oh, jeez. In fact, enjoy our final show of the detour. But who we got on Thursday, John?
Well, we were supposed to have Luke Plepp on today, but we ran out of room. But also he got called to a special meeting as well because he's riding Catalunya in support of Richie Port, who's right there. So we're going to fine tune our guest list tonight and tomorrow morning, and we'll announce who's going to be our superstars for Thursday. But we will be back on Thursday.
That is such a great answer for I don't know. We'll see you on Thursday.
This is the winning ride of the Tour de France.